It isn't just the lyrics, it's the beat. The music that they're planning to use to crumble the morals of America is this rotten, filthy, dirty, lewd, lascivious junk called rock and roll.
An hour of 60s underground music from around the world. Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Radio. Great 60s Garage Punk, freakbeat and psychedelia. Podcast via all good podcasting providers and facebook.com/retrospect garage punk radio.
This is where I have my effect. In the mind. That 7 inches of inner space between the root of the nose and the back of the head.
Don't you know that I still love her so? Can't you see that I have a love to show? Is it wrong for me to love her so? Every time I see her, just passes me by. Guess I just might as well die. 'Cause every time I see her, it's with another guy. We're all so far apart. She's got another boy to play my part. Can't you see she's broken this boy's heart? Don't you know that I still love her so? Can't you see that I have a love to show? Is it wrong for me to love her so?
Hi Garage Rock fans, Phil Gray here with Retrospect 60s Garage Punk radio show and podcast. This is episode 656. It's our final show for 2024, and we are wrapping up the year in retrospect, which I kicked off with a track last played in episode 629, which was one of my occasional guest selector episodes, where my friend John Brain from London, Ontario chose all the tracks, including that one, from a band called the Strags, American band on Rap Records, a label out of Meridian, Mississippi, released October 1967, A-side of this 45 from the Strags called Psychedelic Soul. Shout out to John. Hi, I'm Phil Gray, host of Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. It's a labour of love, and if you dig what I do, why not buy me a beer? Or just a coffee. You can do that now via buymeacoffee.com/Mr. Phil Gray. That's buymeacoffee.com/MrPhilGrey, Mr. Phil Gray. I may not be able to have a beer or coffee in person, but we can do it virtually. On with the show. When we're wrapping up the year in retrospect episodes, remember there are a couple of hundred episodes available on all good podcasting platforms. There's your holiday listening. Download them, save them, bookmark them, whatever you like to do on your favourite podcast platform. While you're there, drop me a review, please. So we're going back through some of my favourite episodes of the year. And for this next set, we're looking at episodes 639 through 643. So not that long ago, but those episodes were this year's Psychedelic September. So 4 tracks in the psychedelic vein. We start the set with a band called the Suds, super obscure. They were from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This one from 1967, from the Suds. This is Groovy Dust.
I have in my pocket a bag of groovy dust. It's real wild and far out, and to try it is a must. I always have it on me when I hit a protest. It keeps me safe from the heat. It really is the best. When the pigs try to hassle me, I blow groovy dust in their face. It psychedelizes them and puts them in their place. Digging the cosmic love vibrations, they are tripping now. They've joined the freak out army. It's so far out, oh wow. Right on. Groovy dust gets you grooving, and there ain't no settling down. It makes a crybaby face wipe off its frown. Well, alright, get loaded now. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. Oh, mama, it's out of sight.
Round, round, out of your mind. That's right. And as you might imagine, not all of the people who know about me approve of what I am or what I do. These people, for example, have seen my effects and think I'm a total disaster.
If you can just get your vibe together, then come on across to me. We'll hold hands and watch the sunrise from the bottom of the sea. But first, are you experienced? Have you ever been experienced? Well, I have. I know you probably scream and cry that your little world won't let me go. But in your measly little world, are you trying to prove that you're made out of gold and you can't be sold? So, are you experienced? Have you ever been experienced? Well, I have. Let me prove it to you. Take it. trumpets and violins, I could hear in the distance. I think they're calling our name. Maybe now you can't hear them, but you will if you just take hold of my hand. But are you experienced? Have you ever been experienced? Not necessarily stoned, just you. Little evil, just a little evil. Yeah. Are you experienced? Carry on like that. Just do it. Yeah. So mean, stopping mother. Let me show you how it's done.
Dial in and turn on with Phil Gray's Retrospect, your number one source for 60s garage, freakbeat, and psychedelia.
I could say once upon a time, but this is not a fairy tale. All the children knew on the real earth plane that they could say to the moon child who lives on the moon, please come and help us whenever they were in trouble or afraid. And the moon child always would leave saying to them, please each night as our moon rises high over the mountains of forever, call me your moon child and remember me, remember me. Then one day, into all the children of the enchanted forest came the dreaded smoke of forgetfulness. Into all the children of the nights of splendor came the fever of change. And 1,000 or more robots from Pluto landed to take prisoner of all. Where was the moon child? Where was the moon child? Each cry came to tell the moon child, save me, save me. I, the moon child, heard, and like a silent star flew to the fathers of destiny for help. But before I could reach them, I saw why the Plutonic wizards took prisoner of all. With their army of robots and evil spells. The god Odin lay asleep, dreaming and falling happened. The wind came and locked me in the tunnels of changing times. In these tunnels, I found the room where the magic mirror is. And through the magic mirror, I saw the saddest sight of all. God Odin fell, causing all the children of everywhere to fall, to fall and not know who they were nor where they belonged. Oh, magic mirror, tell me please, what terrible thing happened to cause all this misery? The mirror spoke to me in waves, telling me of secret caves where the devil god Rolando kept in storage party toys and games. It was the night, she said, that Father Time got drunk on cosmic wine, and the Dark Fan got stoned on marijuana. And by this time, she said, the moon, dear, is smashed on opium. What a terrible disgrace! Mother Nature had gone but yesterday to a picnic in some out-of-the-way place, and the North Wind got stoned to marijuana, and Father Time got gassed on that juice, and all the moon was smiling, smashed on opium. No one to care for the cosmos, no one to rescue all of you. That's how it all happened. That Earth was blown into. Now all the forest people got all captured and put in the valley of tears and sorrow. And all the devils got plastered from the wind's mighty laugh. And soon the cloak of never covered all of Earth Place. And just look around you, what has happened to this once beautiful place. How I escaped and got the Fathers of Destiny is another tale I'll tell. Just don't be sad no more. Don't fight or be untrue. Let's all laugh and pour a beer for Father Time to put him in rhyme and sing a song. So the wind opium.
I've read some silly things about kids falling out of trees and painting themselves green and yellow, and rather stupid to me.
Retrospect.
While she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tale, riding with the wind. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles. She gives to me free. It's alright, she says it's alright. Just take anything you want from me. She's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tales. That's all she ever thinks about, riding with the wind. Yes, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles. She gives to me free. It's alright, she says it's alright. Just take anything you want from me. Hey, don't you think that's cool, man? Hey, anything.
It's Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. 4 tracks, all out of this year's Psychedelic September as we wrap Retrospect for the year. Psychedelic September, episodes 639 through 643. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts. Let's go through the tracks. The Suds, Groovy Dust. Then to the UK, a band. I say a band, they weren't really a band. Session musicians. Material released under the name The Purple Fox. This is an obscure British cash-in LP called Tribute to Jimi Hendrix, released in the UK actually 1971, on a budget label, complete cash-in of hard rock of the era, Purple Fox, covering Hendrix's Are You Experienced? Then a real curio, from 1967, but released much more recently on World Pacific Records. The album is called Cosmic Remembrance, and it's by Kali Bahlu. And reading from the available information, the record features 4 narrations performed by Kali with a bright and sometimes piercing voice, in which she unveils her visions to the listener. What awaits you here ain't exactly the typical flower pop with colourful harmonies. This is an entirely different affair. She speaks, screams, laughs and sings with that lovely lunatic expression in her voice on a base of droning music that is a combination of classic Indian raga with sitar and tabla and a few other eruptive sound-creating instruments, creating a really mystifying atmosphere. Kali Bahlu, with a track I played in this year's Psychedelic September called A Game Called Who I Am. Then a bit more Hendrix, but this time a cover out of Japan from The Helpful Soul. Reissued on a label called Perfect Sound, the album from The Helpful Soul, titled The Helpful Soul First Album. The band started by students at the American School in Kobe in 1965 as the Young Beats, changed their name 1968 to The Helpful Soul, released their debut album 1969, and then promptly broke up. The Helpful Soul, covering Little Wing.
Oh, how many people claim to be Christian and they'll allow their boys and girls to get the rock and roll from every Elvis Presley that comes along?
Retrospect, 60s garage punk, garage rock and psychedelia. I'm going to jump forward to another one of my guest selector episodes from this year. Episode 645. My guest was Catherine River Sage from New Jersey, USA. Brilliant episode in which she chooses some stunning 60s garage tracks. 2 of those now. Starting off in Peru, Los Shains from Lima, active 63 through 68, have reformed in the 2000s. Here is Los Shains. You can see them on our socials. El Tren, Pasa.
This is Catherine River Sage, and I'm delighted to be on the Retrospect Garage Punk Show with Phil Gray, where it's not just the lyrics, it's the beat.
And that is a classic garage punk track out of the States, as selected by Catherine River Sage, my guest selector for episode 645. The Pleasure Seekers, featuring Susie Quattro, and early on her sister Patty Quattro, formed 1964 in Detroit, all-female band. The first record released on Hideout Records 1965, Susie and Patty were 15 and 17 years old. B-side of that 45 is what we featured. What a Way to Die, and what a track, as selected by Catherine River Sage.
Let me tell you, he runs it properly. He runs it strong.
Retrospect.
Let's head down here to New Zealand, a track that featured in episode 648, our New Zealand versus Australia episode. Of course, I've chosen New Zealand. And one of my great finds of the last couple of years, because it was re-released, performances from a band called Grim Limited, formed 1965 in Palmerston North, the lower part of New Zealand's North Island. 5 local schoolboys. The LP released was actually a recording of their last gig at a venue called the Nicoberg in Palmerston North. This is Grim Limited, covering Substitute.
Simple thing to see, love complicated. I look
this record. Let's take a look. It is so stupid.
Retrospect.
Well, I can go anywhere, way I choose. I can talk anyhow, win or lose. Live anywhere for something new. Anywhere, anyhow, anywhere I choose. I can do anything, right or wrong. Be with my friends or go it alone. Forget anything, never knew. Anywhere, anyhow, anywhere I choose. Nothing gets in my way, not even locked doors. Gonna follow the lines that I've laid before. I get along any way I dare, anywhere, anyhow, I can go anywhere, way I choose. I can talk anyhow, win or lose. Forget anything, never knew. Anywhere, anyhow, anywhere I Anyway I choose, girl. I wanna keep to myself, girl. I'm not gonna lose, not gonna lose. The way I choose, the way I choose, the way I choose.
Well, any Who cover is fine with Retrospect. 2 there in a row. First up, Grim Limited, Substitute, from here in New Zealand, from episode 648, our New Zealand versus Australia episode. Then jumping forward a few to episode 651, my tribute this year to Shel Tami, who passed away, band called The Live Five, covering the Who's Anyhow, Anyway, Anywhere. The Live Five out of Salem, Oregon. They work quite closely with the Sonics, Paul Revere and the Raiders and others. Got a contract with Jordan Records, opened for a number of well-known bands, Everly Brothers, Beach Boys, Sonny and Cher and the Rolling Stones. That's quite something in a very brief career. Just 65 through 68 from Salem's The Live Five.
Phil Gray's Retrospect.
A little bit more global garage. For the rest of this show, I'm just going to feature some of my more recent finds, starting off with Las Salvajes. Out of Spain, formed Barcelona in 1962, known as the Spanish Rolling Stones, very much influenced by The Who as well. They toured widely. 1964, they wound up in Germany, stayed there for more than a year. 65, returned to Spain, signed to EMI, recorded their first EP. Here is Los Salvajes with Es Las Edad.
¡Atención, fuera todos! ¡Los monstruos están vivos! ¡Vamos, corred! ¡Están vivos! ¡Socorro! ¡Los monstruos se mueven! ¡Se mueven! ¡Auxilio! ¡Están vivos!
Cabellos cortos, largos, ¿qué más da? La inteligencia se mide por algo más. Yo lucho y trabajo y tengo mi ilusión. Y si el barbero se enfada, no encuentro la razón. Esa edad, esa edad, esa edad. Me gusta reír, cantar y bailar. Soy joven, esa Y por la calle dicen sin razón: Josué, este chico parece un león. Si llevo el pelo largo, también lo lleva un rey. Y un filósofo griego y hasta el mismo Frankenstein. Esa edad, esa edad, esa edad.
didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it.
Horrible.
Retrospect. 60s garage punk, garage rock, and psychedelia.
Esta canción te la canto a ti, óyela. Es muy sencilla pero grande para los dos. La hice para que nunca tú me olvides. La hice para que siempre tú me recuerdes. No lo digo mucho pero sé que comprenderás. Cuando hay amor las palabras están por demás. Te miro a los ojos y sé que me quieres. Si miras los míos sabrás que te quiero. Y ya tu deseo dice esta canción. Sabrás que yo te quiero, escúchala. Esta canción te la canto a ti, óyela. Es muy sencilla pero grande para los dos. La hice para que nunca tú me olvides. La hice para que siempre tú me recuerdes. No digo mucho pero sé que comprenderás. Cuando hay amor las palabras están por demás. Te miro a los ojos y sé que me quieres. Si miras los míos sabrás que te quiero. Y ya tu deseo dice esta canción. Sabrás que yo te quiero, escúchala.
Well, that's a band out of Bolivia called Los Laser, new to the Retrospect collection, re-released on State Records out of the UK, 500 copies pressed, 7-inch 45. Los Laser formed 1967 in La Paz, Bolivia, part of what was known as Nueva Onda Boliviana, the new wave in Bolivia. The two tracks on this 45, taken from their second EP, actually released 1971, but very much 1960s vibe to that. From that EP, we had Tu Deseo, or in English, Your Wish, from Los Laser out of Bolivia.
Dig what you hear? Yeah! Check out back episodes of Retrospect, 60s garage punk radio show and podcast. Always available across all good podcasting providers, including Apple Podcasts, TuneIn.com, Stitcher Radio, Blueberry, Player.fm, MyTuner Radio, Mixcloud, Castbox, Podbean, Pod Directory, and many more.
Well, thanks for joining me for this episode of Retrospect, my wrap on the year. In fact, thanks for being part of Retrospect throughout 2024. As I said in my Christmas episode last week, episode 655, I relish the connections I make with my listeners. I really appreciate the feedback and the likes and the shares, of course the reviews as well. What does 2025 hold? More of the same. More great deep cuts. I've got so much material that I've actually never played on this show. So you'll hear some old favourites, you'll hear some new obscure stuff. For me, 2025 promises some travel, where I am hoping to meet up with a handful of long-time Retrospect fans for the first time ever, and a couple of beers. Those of you in the northeast of the USA, you know who you are. I'm coming for you. But this week I'm leaving you with a band called The Flower Power. 1969 release on Tune Kel Records. The band formed October 1967 from the lead vocalist of the Soul Survivors, musicians from the Telstars, and a band called the Varmints. Band members were aged 15 to 17 years old when they formed in 1967. This one a release from 1969, so band members 17 to 19 years old. It's quite something. The A-side is a cover of Arthur Lee and Love's Orange Skies. Here's the B-side. It is called Stop! Check It! So here is the Flower Power. Stop, check it. Thanks for joining me again. For the year, I'm Phil Gray for Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. Connect with Retrospect. Retrospect's Garage Punk Radio on Facebook and Retrospect 60s Garage Punk on Instagram. And for back episodes, find Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and lots more great podcasting platforms.
I think we can all agree that the show was not good, and if it's not good, why must we have it?